So in the last class, we were talking about Java 8 features, right? Yeah. So in that, we saw some of the features. Okay. Datetime API, we already saw. Lambda expression also we saw, right? And stream API is also part of Lambda expression. And also we saw somewhat, but anyway, I will explain that again. Don't worry. Default methods we will see today. Okay, and for each, I think we saw already. Okay, and string joiner we will see. Okay, optional class we will see, and method reference we need to see. Okay, method reference, functional interface, default methods, string joiner, and optional class. This is what we need to see, right? Yeah. Okay, we'll see one by one. Yeah. First, we will. So just I would like to revise this lambda expression today because I feel it's a little bit tricky for you, for a new person. Okay, let's see that. Okay, so what is lambda expression? The lambda expression is kind of a method. Normally, when we implement an interface in a class, what we will do, we need to implement the method. Okay, so suppose let me comment this and explain you in the normal way so that you can understand the lambda expression better. Okay, let me copy it. Okay, remove this. Okay, so normally what we will do is we will implement interface, right? Interface addable. Okay, so this is what we'll do, right? So when we implement an interface, what we need to do is we need to add that method, implement that method, right? Yeah, so this is how we have to implement that method. Okay, override that method. We need to implement the method in this interface. Okay, so if we implement this method, we can directly call this method, right? How we will call. So we need to create an object for this class. Okay. It's that order 10, 20. Okay. So let's return A plus B. Okay. So you need to assign it to some integer. Okay, and then you need to print it, right? This is normal. Okay, if you print it, this one, it will print 10 plus 20 equal to 30, right? You understand this? So this is very normal. So this is the normal way we will implement the interface. Okay. So this is normal way, but using lambda expression, how we can reduce the number. So instead of implementing this method and instead of calling this method, we can still achieve this result using lambda expression like this. Okay. So for that, I'm going to comment it now. Okay. So normal way, we will comment it. Okay. So lambda expression way, we will start now. Okay. See here, in this way, I just have a 1, 2, only 2 lines. Okay, so I don't implement this interface. Okay, I don't call that method and all, right? It is normal way. Okay, see, sorry, it is lambda expression way. So what you need to do is you just need to pass the parameters a comma b, like, see, here we are passing like a comma b, right? Like this. So you just put a 2 variable name, that's all. Not even you need to mention it like an integer. Okay, so it will automatically consider it. But if you pass some float value, then it won't accept. Okay, so you need to exactly pass the integer value, because that method in that interface accept only integer values. Okay, so you give some a comma b. Okay, and then this arrow mark, right? So this arrow mark denotes that it's a lambda expression. Okay. After arrow mark, so within brackets, you can do whatever you want, whatever logic you want. You can do a plus b, or you can do a star b. Okay, whatever calculation you want to perform, it will perform. Okay. So first line is addable, that interface reference AD1 equal to a comma b arrow function, and then a plus b. That's all. Okay. So the next line, you just call ad1 dot add up. You pass the values for these 2 parameters, then it will return the value. Okay, you can print it. Okay, so this is very simple. So your lines of coding are reduced using lambda expression. Okay, so you got it right. Any question for now? This lambda expression, I hope you can differentiate between the normal way and lambda expression way, right? See, output is 30 and 300. Okay, so you are getting it. Just 2 lines instead of implementing interface and implementing that method and all. So within here, you can do whatever you want. For example, instead of putting system.out.println here, okay, you can put a system.out.println here itself. Oh, okay. Since it has some return type, you need to return something, right? Return a plus b. Now it should work. So you can print it here itself. Okay. So instead of having integer return type here, you can put the void and you can print it everything inside this lambda expression itself. Okay. Divya asked a question. Here there is no need to put body method. So I could not understand your question. Body method means? See, this is usually how will you define a method within this brackets, right? This braces, open brace and close brace, you will put, right? See, for example, see, so this is called body, method body. Okay, so here in lambda expression also you can put a method body like this. Okay, Divya, you understand? Okay, yeah, right. So now also it will print the result, but 2 times. So since we have a return, it is returning back. Okay, so it is not printing actually. Yeah, so now it is printing. Yeah, so you just call this, so it is printing inside the expression, right? Yeah, so both way it is possible. You can do whatever way you want. Okay, okay, so now you can understand lambda expression, right? Yeah, okay, let's go to the next one. Method reference. Okay, so normally we will call a method reference. Okay. So usually to call a method, how we will call, using a object name we will call the method, right? Or if it is a static method, we will call using class name dot method name, or normal method means object name dot method name, like that we will call, right? So instead of doing that, there is one more way provided by Java 8 version, that is called method reference. Okay, so method reference is denoted by this 2 colon symbols. Okay, so you can see this 2 colon symbols, right? Colon. Okay, so in this way also you can call a method. For example, we have a class called arithmetic. In this arithmetic we have a add method. Okay, this will add 2 numbers. Okay, int add. Okay, so in my main class I'm going to call this method. Okay, arithmetic colon add. So in this way also you can call the method. Okay, so it will return, what it will return is, it will return a by function object. Okay, here you need to mention it like this. Okay, by function. So by function is a interface in Java. Okay, Java 8 they introduced this new interface, by function. Okay, it's a functional interface. Functional interface means an interface with only one abstract method. Okay, that we'll see later. Okay, by functional method. So this interface object it will return. Okay, so using this interface object, you can call apply method. Okay, so this apply method is a method inside this by function interface. Okay, so that means it will apply 10,20 to this method. Okay, so this method. Okay, so like it is like calling arithmetic class object dot add of 10,20. Okay, so it will return an integer value and you can print it. Okay, so this is one more way of calling methods. Okay, so it may look somewhat a little bit tricky for first time, but once you get used to it, it will be very easy. Okay, so just put this by function interface. Okay, so that you can call apply method. Okay, so normally in by function we have apply method and then method equals. Yeah, so these are all the methods available in. So usually apply method is used to call the method using functional reference. Okay, so this is called functional reference, but I don't think you will be using it without necessary. Okay, so you can also do a normal way of calling the method, right? Normally we will do, right? So it is one more way, that's all. Okay, if you don't understand this much better, then you can use a normal way also. Okay, so any question in this? Okay, so this is method reference. Next one, functional interface. Okay, can you please explain again? Okay, so method reference is nothing but calling a method. Okay, one more way of calling a method. Okay, Divya, you understand how to call a method normally? So how will we call a method normally? Either using class name if it is a static method, or by using object name, right? For example, so let me explain it in the normal way so that you can easily understand. Okay. Okay. So normally how we will call this method? First thing is we need to create object for this class. Okay. A dot. Okay, it's a static method. Okay. So we can call using class name. Okay. 10, 20. Right, it will return a integer. Right, you understand this, right? This is very normal way. Okay, so usually we don't need this. Yeah, so this is normal way we can call this method. Okay, first, so since it's a static method, we can call this method using class name. Okay, and we need to pass some values to the parameter. Okay, so then it will return a whatever we mentioned here. It's an integer return type, so it will return integer. Okay, you can print it. So this is very normal way. Okay, so instead of doing this way, you can use this functional reference way. Okay, so add. So it will return a by function. Okay, so it will return a by function interface. So in that interface, there is a method called apply. Okay, using that apply method, you can pass the values and it will return the result. Okay, whatever it needs to return. Okay, so now you can do whatever you want with the result. Okay, so this is one more way. That's all. Okay, instead of doing the normal way, you can go for this way also. Okay, got it right? Let me comment it. This one now. Okay, and comment this one. Okay. Yeah, so this is method reference or functional reference. Okay. Next one is functional interface. Okay. Functional interface. So we know what is normal interface, right? Can anyone tell me what is interface? Can contain only abstract methods, and abstract methods are a method without any body or without any definition. Okay, so that is called interface. Okay, so in Java 8 they introduced one concept called functional interface. Okay, so what is functional interface? So functional interface is an interface in which we can have only one abstract method, not more than one. Okay, so if you declare any interface as functional interface, this way you can declare an interface as functional interface at functional interface. Okay, so you need to put it like this. This is called annotation. Okay, so this at is called annotation. After at, whatever comes is called annotation. Okay, so you can mention the at functional interface annotation so that this interface will be considered as a functional interface. Okay, so if you declare the interface as functional interface, then you are not allowed to declare more than one abstract method in that interface. Okay, so let's check it now. Okay, so I have one method already, one abstract method. So I don't need to mention it as an abstract here because by default all methods are abstract in interface. Okay, so let me put one more interface here. Okay, so I'm trying to declare one more interface, one more abstract method here, and it is showing error, right? So invalid. Functional interface annotation. Sayable is not a functional interface. Okay, that means you have declared more than one methods, abstract methods. So you cannot consider this as a functional interface. Okay, so it will throw an error. Okay, if you declare more than one abstract method in functional interface. Okay, so this is called functional interface. Okay, so functional interface will have only one abstract method, but in Java 8 they introduced two more things in interface. So you can declare a default method as well as static method. Okay, so there is no limitation for that. Okay, you can have a default method. So it should be an implemented method, not abstract method. Okay, you can have a non-abstract methods also in interface. Okay, so that is only from Java 8 version. Okay, default while method. So you can put a method body here. This is a default method. Okay, and also you can have a static method. Okay, static method also can have a method body inside interface. Okay, so this is allowed only from Java 8 version. Okay, how you can call this default method and static method in the implemented classes? See, so default method you can call with just method name. Okay, like this. Sorry, you need to create object for this FIE. Okay, using FIE dot method. Okay, like this you can call a default method. Okay, that means implemented class object dot this default method name. Okay, so this is how you can call a default method of a interface. Okay. So static method, how you can call? By using interface name. Sayable dot static method. Okay. So interface name dot method name. Like that you have to call for static method inside interface. Okay. Yeah. So how you can call a abstract method is this way. So you need to implement that interface first. Method, that abstract method first, because you implemented that interface, right? So you need to override that method. Then you can create an object for this class and you can call this method. Okay, using that object name. That's all. Okay. So this is called functional interface and default method and static method of Java 8 version. Okay. Let's run it now. See, hello there. This is default method. This is a static method. Okay. So I hope you can understand, right? What is functional interface? What is default method? What is static method? So you can declare n number of default method and static method in interface. Okay, got it right? Any question in this? Okay, so that is done. Default method is done. For each we saw already, right? This is a replacement for loop. Okay, you can use for each method to go through the collection object, and you can use for each loop instead of for loop. Okay, so both is possible. Okay, now we will see string joiner. Okay, what is string joiner? So this string joiner is a class which is introduced in Java 8 version. Okay, so this class is used to join a common character or string with a available characters. That means available string with multiple string. So you can join that with another string. Okay, that is called string joiner. Okay, so if you look at this class, you can easily understand. Okay, so string joiner. Okay, you can add. It's like a collection. Okay, array list. In array list, we will add multiple values, right? Multiple elements, right? Like that, you can add multiple elements to it. Okay, so string joiner is also like adding multiple elements to it. Okay, so in this multiple elements, I want to separate all these elements with comma. Okay, so comma should be separated with all these. Okay, sorry, these elements should be separated with comma. Okay, so that is my requirement. Okay, so you can use string joiner to achieve this. Okay, so you add the values in the object, string joiner object, and you just when you create a string joiner object, you need to put that delimiter. Okay, so that means which character it needs to separate. Okay, so by doing that, you can separate these elements with this delimiter. Okay, that means output will be like this: Rahul, comma, Raju, comma, Peter, comma, Rahim. Like that, it will print. Okay, so this is one way. Okay, now I have another requirement, like in the front and back, I need to put this bracket. Okay, so this element should start with the open bracket, and then each element should be separated by comma, and then ending with the closed bracket. Okay, so for this requirement, I can create a string joiner like this. First one is a element separator. Okay, and next one is a first joiner. Okay, that means prefix. Okay, this one is suffix. Okay, prefix and suffix you can pass. Okay, So character sequence of prefix and suffix. Okay, you can pass so that it will print it like this way. Okay, so here also it will do like this. Okay, let's run it now. See here, for the first print, it is printing like with the comma separator, right? So for the second one, it is printing with the brackets, open bracket and close bracket. Okay. So this is called string joiner class. Okay. You got it? Any question in this? Any question? Okay. Yeah. So then we have only one concept in Java 8, that is optional class. Okay. So this optional class, okay. Yeah, look at this. See, optional class is a class introduced in Java 8 version. Okay, let's look at the methods inside that class. Okay, it's a final class. Okay, final class means, I hope you understand, right? How we will call the final class? So we have one name for a final class. Can anyone tell me? What is that? What is that name? So can you show the program JDBC using MySQL database? Yeah, wait, we'll do. But for now, yeah. Tell me what is final class. So how we will call a final class? There is a name for final class. Final class can be called as what? Yeah, can anyone tell the answer? What is the name of final class? So final class we will call with one name. Example is string class. No one knows? Okay, let me tell. Anyone is ready? Overridden by subclass. No. So final class we will call it as immutable class. Immutable. Okay. I hope you might have heard this word when we saw this string class, right? So we call string class as immutable class because string is a final class, right? I told you already, and I told you how will you create a immutable class is by making that class as final, right? Do you remember or not? You people forgot, right? Sir, as it cannot be changed. Yes. So final class is called immutable class. Okay. So here in Java 8 we have an optional class that is called, that is a final class. So we can call this also a immutable class. Okay. So in this we have a method called, this is constructor. Okay. It has a private constructor. Okay. And optional empty method is there, right? It has a empty method, and then require non-null. Okay. So off nullable method is there, is present is there, predicate is there. Okay. So basically this function optional class is used for checking whether an object is having a null value or not. Okay. So in this program, okay. So normally how we will check an object contains null value? How will you check object contain null value or not? Anyone knows? Null method? No, not null method. How will you check an object contains null value? By using is null method, or you can put a not equal to null. Okay, if that object not equal to null. For example, you have a string object, string yes equal to null. Okay, so you can check it like this: yes not equal to null, so that it will allow inside this if loop, right? So you can check not equal to null, so that you are sure that only if it is not equal to null, you can perform operations. Otherwise, it will skip, right? So this way you can check whether an object has a null value or not, or else you can do like this: is dot is null. Yeah, is null method is not there actually. So you can check is empty, but is empty is different from null. Okay. So there is only way to check null value is not equal to null. Okay, you have to check not equal to null like this. Okay, so there is no is null method. Okay, so instead of doing this way, you can use optional class, okay, of nullable. Okay, so using this method of nullable, it will check whether it has a null value or not. Okay, and using is present, it will check whether any value present or not. Okay, so in this string array, whether any value is present or not. Can you tell me any whether this string array contains any value? Can anyone tell? This string array. I think no, sir. Yes. So it doesn't have any value, but it can hold 10 values. Okay, it can hold 10 value because the size is 10. Okay, but doesn't have any value for any element. Okay, any position. It doesn't have any value in any of the 10 position. Okay, so using this optional dot of nullable, we can check a particular element is a nullable or not. Okay, it has a null value or not. Okay, string of 5. Okay, that means sixth position. Right, sixth position is having any value or not. Okay, so in this way you can check a null value. Okay, let me run it now. String value is not present. You got it now, right? Okay, is present. So it will check whether it has any value or not. Okay. So now let me put some value at this position. Okay. Okay. So now the sixth element contains some value. Okay. Let me run it now. Star. So it is printing that value, right? So in this way also you can check a null element or null object or null value. Okay, you got it right? So let me copy it. Yeah, I think that's all from core Java. Okay, till now we have taken, so whatever concepts we need to cover it in core Java. Okay, so I almost covered, maybe some little points left out, but so if you continue to practice these points, then that is more than enough for your level.